In this video, we are taking both the Insta360 X4 and the brand new Insta360 X5 straight into the action. No studio, no gimmicks, just real-world testing where it matters most. We are hitting the trails at sunrise through the changing light, fast movement and tough terrain to see how these two cameras really perform when you push them. From color, clarity and detail to low light and bright sun. This is where the differences shows up. If you want to know which camera is really worth taking on your next adventure, you're in the right place.
With the new Insta360 X5, they might have shot their own leg. And here's why. Yesterday, finally, my Insta360 X5 has arrived, so I took it for my morning run. It's still 10-15 minutes before sunrise, so it will be even more challenging. But I'm not looking for the easy ways. So let's see how the camera will behave in comparison to Insta360 X4. At the moment, I'm filming in the pure video mode.
As soon as you look at the footage from the Insta360 X4, you feel the difference. The image looks softer, almost like there is a light haze over everything. Details in the rocks and trees get lost, especially in these cloudy sunrise conditions. The video feels a bit washed out, and in the shadows it struggles to hold depth. It's still usable, but when you've seen what the X5 can do in a pure video mode, it's hard to go back.
So just keep in mind, this video is unsponsored. I just want to give you the clear and realistic review what to expect. Is it worth to pay extra $200 for the new Insta360 X5? Alright, now I'm going down the hill using both cameras in 8K 30 FPS, and you will see head-to-head comparison how better it is in a low light. I'm not using any camera stick, any selfie stick, just holding it in my hand, so you're not gonna see any invisible stick effect. And also, now let's compare the single lens mode. For me, single lens mode was something really important. The cool thing about the new Insta360 X5 that you can now switch between the cameras, the front and back, right now. On the previous generation, X4, it was impossible to do. We had to stop the recording, flip the camera, and start the recording. The main question that still remains for me, can it replace actually all of my other action cameras? DJI Action 5 Pro, Insta360 Ace Pro 2, or even cinematic DJI Osmo Pocket 3? Well, this question is still open, and I will closely compare these cameras head to head in my next episodes.
Both cameras are mounted identically, same route, same light, but the difference is immediate. The X5 is using the new pure video mode, and you can see how much more clarity it brings to the scene. Look at the rocks and the grass. On the X4 side, everything looks slightly washed out. There is a softness of the image that loses its texture, but the X5 sharp, clean and far more natural. The contrast is stronger but still balanced. You get a sense of the moisture in the air, the texture on the trail and even the subtle gradients in the clouds. In the lower light, like this section under the trees, the X5 maintains dynamic range beautifully. You don't get that artificial brightness or noise that sometimes creeps into the X4 footage. It feels grounded, cinematic, even without being over-processed. And here's where the X5 really shines, literally. As the sun breaks through the clouds, the X5 captures both the highlights and shadows without blowing out the details. The X4 tends to flatten out this moment, losing the atmosphere and energy. I was honestly surprised by how much more immersive the X5 footage felt. It's not just about the sharpness, it's the color depth, the natural exposure handling, and how well it adapts to movement and changing light. If you are chasing the cinematic look right out of the camera, especially in challenging light like cloudy sunrises, the X5 with pure video mode is a clear winner. The X4 is still solid, but side by side it just can't match the detail and dynamic range the X5 delivers. Both cameras are built tough and reliable, but when it comes to storytelling through visuals, especially in a low light, the X5 clearly pulls ahead. Let me know which one you would take on your next mountain run.
The new Insta360 X5 should have been an upgrade to the Insta360 X4. Insta360 absolutely perfectly knew all the problems with their X4 camera. A lot of people were writing the review, they're contacting with support, but the thing is, we know that manufacturers are often focusing on how to sell the things instead of how to improve the things. Switching now to single lens camera mode. Unfortunately, it doesn't have pure video mode. Perhaps they were afraid user add pure video mode to single camera lens mode, then perhaps nobody will buy any more Ace Pro 2. By the way, subscribe to my channel because we'll have a comparison between Insta360 X5 and Insta360 Ace Pro 2.
Now both cameras are shooting in regular video mode at 5.7K 30 FPS, while I'm running in the same mountains during the same cloudy sunrise. Right away the colors are more or less similar, both deliver the flat Insta360 look out of the box, but when you look closely, the X5 captures noticeably more detail, especially in the textures on the rocks, ground and vegetation. In shadowy areas, the X5 holds onto more dynamic range. The X4 tends to clip darker parts or smooth them out, which makes the footage look cleaner but also flatter. And when the sunlight hits the edge of the clouds, the X5 holds the highlight detail just a little longer. It's not as dramatic as pure video mode, but even in standard mode, the X5 has a slight edge in realism and refinement. Both are strong performance, but if you're after more detail and depth straight out of the regular video mode, the X5 still pulls ahead.
By the way, the cool things that I like about the new Insta360 X5 is the camera mount. Now I can share the same camera mount from the Ace Pro 2. I just actually attached the camera mount from my Ace Pro 2 and connected it like in 1 second. I would highly recommend also to use SD card with a speed at least V60. V30 are recommended like enough, but for faster speed, for faster transitioning of the video from the camera to your phone, it is better to use V60. But I also have a feeling that what Insta360 did with their X5 model might affect their budgeting and money in general. I'm using this camera for a few days now, and I don't understand why do I need any other cameras at the moment. If you compare the Insta360 X4 with Insta360 X5, the upgrade was so huge. The sensor is 144% larger than in the previous generation X4 model. Also, they added an extra chip for AI processing. And also they introduced the pure video mode. It means that now you can easily use Insta360 X5 in the low light, on sunrise, on the sunset. I think that's exactly what many people were asking them.
Earlier during the run it was cloudy, and we saw how the Insta360 X5 had a clear edge in those low light foggy moments. But once the sun comes up and the lighting improves, the story changes. The Insta360 X4 really comes alive in the proper daylight. Suddenly, the image sharpens up, colors feel rich and balanced, and the washed out look we noticed earlier is gone. It handles the sunlight beautifully with just the right amount of contrast. Details in landscape pop, from the individual blades of grass to the textures in the rocks and even the subtle shifts in the mountain range. You don't feel like you're missing anything visually. Even while moving quickly, the X4 keeps up. There is minimal motion blur, and with steady light all around, it doesn't struggle with dynamic range the way it did earlier in the shadows. Side by side, in these conditions, the difference between the X4 and the X5 becomes less noticeable. The X5 still has slightly more depth and refinement, especially in color tonality, but the X4 holds its own impressively well. It's a good reminder that in a bright, stable lighting, like a clear sunrise over the mountains, the X4 still delivers excellent results, crisp, vibrant, and perfectly capable of capturing moments that look stunning right out of the camera. If you are mostly shooting in well-lit conditions, the X4 continues to be a strong, reliable action camera with no real compromises in quality.
The sun just hit a little bit behind the cloud, and the camera starts recommending lower resolution. Here is my friend, she's staying here. Hello, hello. Hello. It's always here. Guys, just to be clear, this video is unsponsored. Nobody has paid me anything.
The Insta360 X4 already showed solid results. Crisp footage, great stabilization and reliable detail when the lighting was on its side. But once the sun came up, the X5 started to shine, leisurely. Even in regular video mode, the X5 feels like it sees more. The image is sharper, the dynamic range is wider, and there is just more visual depth to everything. Look at the fine textures in the rocks and leaves. Where the X4 gives you a good result, the X5 just gives you more clarity, more contrast and more realism. Some of the X5 clips were exported using Dolby Vision and it's immediately noticeable. Highlights glow with a cinematic edge, shadows retain structure, and the whole image just has this rich, high-definition feel. It's not subtle, you can tell which shots have the extra dynamic range baked in. I also had anti-flicker enabled, which made a difference when light conditions changed quickly, like passing through trees or catching sudden sunlight. It helps keep the exposure smooth and avoids those harsh brightness jumps. The X4 does a great job overall, but once you compare it to the X5, you start to notice the layers, sharper lines, richer colors, and more accurate highlights. In good light, the X5 doesn't just perform, it elevates. Whether you are shooting for cinematic storytelling or just capturing a stunning run in the mountains, the X5 is clearly a step ahead.
This is her favorite delicious food. Grab it. I know you like it. Every day I'm coming to her, bringing her the bucket of this weed, and she's eating like delicious candy. Yeah, well, good horse, good friend. Okay, see you tomorrow.
After the sun rises, the Insta360 X5 really starts to impress. Details become razor sharp, from the trail underfoot to the texture far off in the hills. The clarity is next level. Colors are rich and balanced, and it handles direct sunlight with ease. No blown highlights or crushed shadows. Some clips were exported with Dolby Vision, but unfortunately, since the full video isn't in HLG format, those scenes don't display the HDR effect correctly. Instead of boosting the scene, it actually makes it look worse, flatter and overexposed on standard displays. It's a reminder, when using Dolby Vision, consistency across your workflow matters. The X5 is powerful, but only when handled right.
I also like very much how Insta360 quietly improved a lot of things in the new X5 model without even noticing that. Because as I mentioned, the physical camera didn't change. Few ports covers has been replaced a little bit. Also the battery size is not compatible with the previous generation. But if you had any sort of covers, the grip covers, for protecting your cameras, for protecting your hand, it's still compatible with your camera. Also the biggest win for me, like something that I was expecting so much, is a replaceable lens kit. Now you can buy it for $30 as far as I remember the price, because I got one as a gift. I was purchasing this Insta360 X5. I really hope I will never use it. I really hope that my camera will never fall on the ground. But just in case, if this happens, I know that I don't need to send the camera back for the replacement and use FlexiCare, but I can just replace the lens by myself. Another thing I wanted to mention, they increased possible depth for the scuba divers. Like the previous, it was up to 10 meters, and now you can take up to 15 meters. For most of the open water scuba divers that are allowed to go only up to 18 meters. 15 meters is more than enough. For whom this camera is, well, it's for you to decide. If you are really filming most of the time at the low light condition, sunrise, sunset, or if the place where you are living most of the time there is a cloud, if you're a scuba diver and you decide to go scuba diving without the protection case, if you know that accidentally your camera might fall on the ground and you would like to replace the lens kit, then this camera is definitely for you.
Thus we have two boxes, the one from Insta360 X5 and Insta360 X4. The previous generation, even the box is slightly larger. If you put it up, you see that it's wider. So let's unbox the brand new Insta360 X5. Inside we still get the same signature hard shell camera case we know for the X4, but here is we start noticing the differences. The Insta360 X5 doesn't come with the lens guards or the thermal grip that were included with the X4. It's a bit of step back if you are planning rugged shots straight out of the box. One major upgrade though, and it's welcome one. Its magnetic mounting system is now compatible with the mount from the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, which means easier and faster switching between cameras if you own both. The port covers have been redesigned and feel more secure, and the battery is just slightly larger. Despite all of that, the overall body size and feel remain almost identical, also worth a quick mention. The replacement lens kit for the X5 comes in a compact package. Inside you will find two individual lens covers and a cleaning cloth. The build quality feels premium and it's clearly built to withstand some serious action. I got this lens replacement kit as a gift for my Insta360 X5. So while the X5 refines some key details, it's more of a smart evolution than a couple redesign. If you've been using the X4, you'll feel right at home.
If you are watching this video, please let me know in the comments what exactly is the reason. Are you looking for 360 cameras in general, or are you interested in Insta360 X5? If you are interested in this specific camera, let me know in the comments why. Everyone else will be interesting also. The main question will be still, is the price over $600 worth it or not? It depends when do you film. If you only want to buy 360 camera for your family, sometimes filming on the beach, X4 is more than enough. If you don't understand the reason why do you want to buy it, don't buy it. I want to make sure that in my community we are keeping only the truth. So far I can say that 360 cameras are the best if you're running in the morning, because you have a list of shakiness and you can run really fast. So let me speed up a bit, at least to 17 kilometers an hour. So guys, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next one. Bye.